Country, police officers and their families are being recognized on this Peace Officers Memorial Day.
Douglas County Law Enforcement Center hosted this year's local memorial service. Laura Sample shows us the moving ceremony.
An emotional scene as family, friends, and colleagues honor their late loved ones, peace officers who lost their lives in the line of duty or due to other causes. Flowers in hand, they walk to the front of the ceremony and place a rose and a wreath, a token of their affection. Deputy Kaylee Pigsley is honoring her late husband, Deputy Seth Withulski.
We got hired on together, so we both work for the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. We went through the academy together.
Pigsley says her late husband died of suicide in January 2020. His death is a part of a disturbing national trend. According to researchers with the Ruderman Family Foundation, law enforcement officers are more likely to die by suicide than in the line of duty. Look at 2020. Nationwide, 116 police officers took their own lives, and 113 died while on the job. Pigsley says her late husband is remembered every day.
We take it one day at a time. We still talk about him at home.
Omaha Mayor Gene Stothard and Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen were among those who spoke about the importance of law enforcement.
The people of Omaha strongly support our law enforcement officers who are dedicated to the security of our families, schools, neighborhoods, and to enforce the rules of the law.
Law enforcement will continue to uphold our Constitution and our constitutional rights. Continue to stand up for the weak, the innocent, and the voiceless.
The final roll call for those who followed a calling of service, protecting the public until their conclusion of duty. Laura Sample, 6 News.
A statewide memorial service will be held Friday morning at 10 at Fauner Park in Grand Island.